Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw an elephant. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the head. An easy way to draw the circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. You don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. To the left, draw a bigger circle as a guide for the front part of the body. Make this circle about 1.5 times the size of the head circle. Draw this circle a bit lower than the head circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. Farther to the left, draw a bigger circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Make this circle just a bit bigger than the circle for the front of the body. Don't overlap the circles as you draw them. Now draw a horizontal line across the head circle. This is a construction guide that will help you place the facial features later. On the right side of the head, draw a long curved shape as a guide for the trunk. Start by making 2 small marks on the side of the head for the base of the trunk. Pay attention to where the marks are placed in relation to the construction guide. Extend the top mark farther up and to the right to create the top edge of the trunk. At the top, draw a short vertical line for the tip of the trunk. Now extend the bottom mark up and to the right as well to create the bottom edge of the trunk. The curvature of the trunk should be similar to the letter S. To the left of the head, draw a long angled line as a guide for the ear. The top of the ear is a short horizontal line. The rest of the ear should be somewhat similar to a less than sign. Under the front part of the body, draw a long thin shape as a guide for the front leg. Draw 2 long tilted lines for the edges of the leg. Close off the shape at the bottom with a short curved line. Pay attention to how long the leg is in relation to the body. To the right, draw another long thin shape as a guide for the other front leg. Draw this leg so that it tilts the other way. Close off the shape at the bottom with a short curved line. Under the back portion of the body, draw another long thin shape as a guide for the other hind leg. Tilt the lines the same way as the first front leg. Close off the shape at the bottom too with a short curved line. Slightly to the right, draw another long thin shape as a guide for the other hind leg. This leg should be slightly shorter than the other legs. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the horizontal construction guide and close to the center of the circle. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Draw a curved line at the top for the eyelid. As you darken the shape, make the sides pointier for the corners of the eye. Inside the eye, draw a tiny dot for the pupil. Draw a few more lines around the eye for creases. Curve the lines along the shape of the eye. Near the bottom of the head, where the circle meets the trunk, lightly sketch a curved horizontal line for the first part of the tusk. Now lightly sketch the shape of the tusk around the line. Make the tusk wide at the base and thin and pointy at the tip. The tip of the tusk should curve up. When you get the shape of the tusk right, darken the lines. Pay attention to the placement of the tusk in relation to the eye and the trunk. Below the shape, draw a curved line for the skin that wraps around the tusk. Curve this line up and to the left. To the right, lightly sketch another curved horizontal line as a guide for the other tusk. Make this line slightly longer. Draw the shape of the tusk around the guide. Draw a short curved line on the left side for the base of the tusk. Make the shape wide on the left side and gradually make it thinner toward the right. Draw a few short curved lines on the left side for the skin that's around the base of the tusk. Now use the long wavy shape as a guide to draw the trunk. Darken the outer edges of the guide to create the shape of the trunk. Add a few bumps on the underside of the trunk for the texture on the skin. At the top, draw a small oval-like shape for the tip of the trunk. Inside the shape, draw 2 small ovals and shade them in for the nostrils. On the base of the trunk, draw a few curved lines for creases on the skin. Draw a curved line along the length of the trunk to separate the top and bottom part of the shape. Use the angled shape on the left side as a guide to draw the ear. Darken the basic path of the guide, but make the shape of the ear more curved. Use a wavy line to create the bottom edge of the ear. Draw a vertical line close to the left edge of the head circle for the inner edge of the ear. Now use the circle as a guide to draw the rest of the head. Use 2 curved lines to draw the top of the head. At the bottom, draw 2 more curved lines for the jaw. Below the head, draw an angled line for the visible section of the ear that's on the other side. Below the first tusk, draw a curved line for the lower lip. Use the second shape from the right that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. Lightly sketch the shape of the leg along the basic path of the guide. Make the top of the leg a bit wider than the guide. Curve the bottom part of the shape inward to separate the foot from the leg. Curve the lines to indicate the muscle structure and joints. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. On the tip of the foot, draw a couple of curved lines for the nails. Use the shape to the right as a guide to draw the other front leg. Draw the shape of the leg along the basic path of the guide. Make the top of the leg slightly wider than the guide. Curve the shape at the bottom to create the foot. Add a couple of small arcs at the bottom for the nails. Use the shape on the far left side as a guide to draw the hind leg. Draw the shape of the leg along the path of the guide. Make the top of the leg wider than the guide. Curve the bottom part of the shape to create the joint and foot. Draw the nails on the tip of the foot using 2 small arcs. use the shape to the right as a guide to draw the other hind leg the same way. Draw the shape of the leg along the basic path of the guide. Add the nails at the bottom using 2 small arcs. Use the 2 big circles as guides to draw the rest of the body. Add an extra curved line at the top for the hump on the back. Draw the shape of the body along the edges of the circles. Make the top of the body a bit more angular than the circles. Don't overlap the legs that are on this side of the body as you draw the underside. Draw a couple of short curved lines on the right side for the chest. On the left side of the body, draw a short thin shape for the tail. Add a series of short curved lines on the bottom of the shape for the hair on the tail. Now erase the initial guidelines. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. You don't have to erase all of the guidelines, it's okay if you leave some behind. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now shade your drawing. Use a medium value across the entire body. Shade lightly at first and gradually build up to darker values. To create light values, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder to create darker values. As you shade, use a slightly darker value to create shadows throughout the body. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. The shadows on the head will help define the bone structure. Slowly and gradually make the values darker across the body. Darken the final lines to emphasize the shapes. Add a series of lines on the trunk for creases. Now add more curved lines across the body for creases, wrinkles, and overall more texture on the skin. Draw the lines so that they conform to the shape of the body. Draw a cast shadow at the bottom using a medium value. Shading can be time consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep shading until you're happy with the result, and that's it for the elephant. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com, where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.